Picture a worn football rolling across a hot street in Brazil. The leather is old. The ground is hard. And a boy chases the ball across that rough street with bright eyes and a heart full of hope. This boy has almost nothing. His family does not have much money, but he has something money cannot buy. He has a gift. A gift is a special talent you are born with. This boy was born with a gift for football. But this is not only a story about goals. This is a story about pain, about comeback, and about legacy. Pain is deep hurt, in the body or in the heart. A comeback is when you return after a hard fall, and a legacy is the mark your life leaves on the world over time. Because here is the great mystery of his life. He became one of the fastest, most exciting strikers in football history, and then his own body turned against him. His knee failed. Then it failed again. Many people doubted him. The world waited. So, how did a body full of pain still create one of football's greatest comebacks? Let us begin where every story begins, at the start, with a boy, a ball, and a dream. Ronaldo Luis Nazário de Lima was born on September 18, 1976, in Itaguai, Brazil. He grew up around Rio de Janeiro, in a working-class environment where football was everywhere. The streets were rough. Life was not easy. But for a boy who loved football, the street was enough. He played on the street. He played with friends. He played with anything round that could roll. And he played futsal. Futsal is a fast type of football, played on a small, hard court. The ball is small and heavy. The space is tight. You must think quickly. You must move quickly. Futsal made his feet fast and clever. He had a gift. He had a dream. But he did not have much money. A gift is a talent. A dream is something you hope for, deep in your heart. Ronaldo dreamed of becoming a footballer. But a dream is fragile when you are poor. There is a famous story from his early days. The story goes that one day, young Ronaldo could not reach a training session because he did not have the bus fare. The bus fare is the money you pay to ride the bus. It is often said that a small amount of money almost stopped a future legend. We cannot be sure of every detail. But the lesson is true and clear. A gift needs a chance. A chance is an opportunity, a moment to show what you can do. And so many gifted children miss that moment. To miss a chance means to lose it, perhaps forever. Ronaldo could have missed his chance, but slowly, people began to notice him. The way he moved, the way he scored, the way the ball seemed to follow him. He was spotted. To be spotted means to be noticed by someone important. A scout, a coach, a person who can open a door. Ronaldo was spotted. The door opened, and a poor boy with fast feet stepped through it. He had a gift. Now, at last, he had a chance. And a gift means nothing without a chance. That boy with no bus fare was about to take the whole world by storm. The rise was fast, almost too fast to believe. As a teenager, Ronaldo joined a Brazilian club called Cruzeiro, and there he began scoring at a speed that made people stop and notice. He was young, but he played with unusual power, speed, and confidence. People started to watch. People started to talk. In 1994, he was part of the Brazil squad that won the World Cup. He was very young, and he did not play in the matches, but he was there. He watched. He learned. He waited for his time. Then Europe called. He moved to a Dutch club, PSV Eindhoven. The transfer took him to a new country, a new language, a new life. In football, a transfer is when a player moves from one club to another. Ronaldo's transfers would soon break world records. In 1996, he joined Barcelona in Spain. And there, the world finally saw the full picture. In one amazing season, he scored again and again. He ran past defenders as if they were standing still. He was fast. He was strong. He was fearless. Many fans had never seen a striker quite like him. The fans gave him a new name. They called him O Fenômeno, the phenomenon. A phenomenon is something amazing, something rare, something that fills people with wonder. That was Ronaldo. He had burst onto the scene. Before Barcelona, many football fans already knew his name. After Barcelona, the whole world understood why. A striker is the player whose job is to score goals. But Ronaldo was a new kind of striker. He had the speed of a sprinter and the touch of an artist. He looked unstoppable, impossible to stop. There was joy in his football, real joy. You could see it when he smiled. He was at his peak, at the very top, the highest point of the game. But talent can lift you to the top, and the top is a dangerous place. He had everything, but the higher you climb, the harder you can fall. We come now to the hardest part of the story, the part about pain. By 1998, Ronaldo was the best player in the world. Brazil reached the final of the World Cup against France. The whole world expected him to shine. But then, something went wrong. On the day of the final, in the quiet of a hotel room, something happened to Ronaldo's health. According to reports, he suffered a convulsive fit, a frightening medical episode, only hours before the biggest game of his life. What happened next is still a mystery. A mystery is something we cannot fully explain. At first, his name was removed from the team sheet. Then, surprisingly, it was added again. He played in the final. But he was not himself. He moved slowly, like a man far away from his own body. Brazil lost 3-0. Many people remember that night with sadness and many questions. Many theories exist about what happened, but none should be treated as proven. The exact cause was never officially confirmed. We can only say this with honesty. Something happened. He played, Brazil lost, and the world was left wondering. That was pain for the heart, but soon came pain for the body. Ronaldo moved to Inter Milan in Italy, and there his body began to break down, especially his knee. In 1999, and again in 2000, he suffered serious knee injuries. The knee is the joint in the middle of your leg. For a runner like Ronaldo, the knee is everything. His knee gave way. It suddenly failed and could not hold him. He needed surgery, an operation by doctors. He was out for months. He could not run. He could not play. He had to recover. He had to start again, almost from nothing. He could not run. He could not play. He had to recover. This was fear. Real fear. Doubt filled the air. Some people believed his career was finished. He was the best player in the world. Then something went wrong. No one fully knew why. Everything changed. Even legends can break. Many people doubted him. Fans worried. The world waited. But Ronaldo had one more chapter to write. Now we come to the most beautiful word in this whole story. Comeback. A comeback means to return after difficulty. After the injuries, Ronaldo did not give up. The recovery was long and lonely. Imagine quiet training grounds, empty pitches, the same simple movements, again and again, far from the cameras and the cheering crowds. He had to learn to trust his own body once more. In 2002, the World Cup came again. Brazil needed him, and Ronaldo returned. To return from injury means to play again after being hurt. Many doubted he could do it, but he was ready to prove people wrong, to show that those who doubted him were mistaken. And he did. In that 2002 tournament, Ronaldo scored 8 goals. 8. Each one was a small victory over fear. Each one said the same quiet thing: I am still here. Brazil reached the final, against Germany. And there, under the bright lights, Ronaldo scored both goals. Brazil won, 2-0. Brazil were champions of the world again. When the final whistle blew, Ronaldo wept. These were tears of joy, but also tears of relief, of memory, of everything he had survived to reach this moment. This was more than a trophy. This was redemption. Redemption means to make things right again after failure or pain. After the sadness of 1998, after the broken knees, after the doubt, Ronaldo had earned his redemption. He had done it against all odds. To succeed against all odds means to win when success seemed almost impossible. Think about his journey in 4 small steps. He fell, he waited, he recovered, he came back. That is the heart of this story. Falling is not the end. Anyone can fall. Coming back is the rare and beautiful part. He had won it all back, but his true legacy was about something deeper than trophies. After 2002, Ronaldo joined Real Madrid in Spain and played beside some of the greatest names in the game. There were more goals, more bright nights, more joy. But his body never fully healed. The injuries kept returning. His speed slowly changed. The young sprinter who once ran past everyone now had to play in a different way, with more thought and less running. His body had become fragile, easily hurt and easily worn. He later played for AC Milan and then returned home to Brazil to play for Corinthians. Through all of it, he kept fighting his own body. And in 2011, after years of physical struggle, Ronaldo retired from football. Retirement is the moment you stop your professional career. For Ronaldo, it came not because the gift was gone, but because the body could no longer pay the price. His later years were not perfect. They were not simple. We should not paint him only as a hero who never fell, and we should not paint him only as a victim who only suffered. He was a full human being. Gifted and joyful, pressured and injured, doubted and brave, and in the end, deeply respected. So, what is his legacy? A legacy is the mark a life leaves on the world over time. When people remember Ronaldo, they remember the speed and the goals, yes, but they remember something more. They remember the survival. Survival is what remains when you live through something terrible. Ronaldo survived doubt, injury, fear, and pain. And he came out the other side as a legend. He left a legacy. He inspired a generation. And he is remembered for one of the greatest comebacks football has ever seen. The boy who once chased a worn ball across a hard street had survived the hardest thing in sport: losing the body that made him great, and finding greatness again. Because greatness is not only what you win, greatness is also what you survive. Talent made him a phenomenon. Pain made him a legend.